Walking into a room full of execs at 21 is brutal, but here's what I have learned. I'll share actionable insights and things I have experienced and things you can apply when you are going into these networking events and communicating with executives or whoever you're communicating with at these networking events. So I'm Tyjuan Hughey, founder and CEO of Innovite Solutions. We are an innovation company. We are a startup. We are building innovation for enterprises and the public sector. That's the government sector. So we are getting into government agencies and government contracting. So tip number one, know your value. Know what you are selling. See, a lot of times when you're going into these networking events, especially as a young person, they'll look at you like, why are you here? You're old enough to be my son's age. Why are you here at a networking event? And they'll oftentimes come with skeptics and they don't want to talk to you because they don't think you can provide them value. But a lot of times you have to integrate yourself into conversations and approach people. That's another tip that you need to know how to do. You need to know how to approach these CEOs when they're walking around and nobody's talking to them. Don't be scared to go up to them and talk to them and introduce yourself and share your value. Because later down the line, if you haven't talked to them, you just went to the event expecting people to come up to you. That's not how it works. Nobody is going to come up to you unless you look like you can provide them value. And if you're a young person, they already assume that you don't belong there, you're not providing them value, you're probably looking for an opportunity. You're not there to help them and provide value and help them grow. So, like I said again, and I like to reiterate, don't be afraid to approach people, but especially know your value when you approach those people, because when you approach them and you just start stumbling and don't know what to say, make sure you practice your elevator pitch also, but you just have to know what you're selling to that person and know the conference you are going to. If you're going to a conference full of real estate agents, career agents, or consultants, know who you are selling to, know your target audience. If it's a mixed target audience, make sure you have a broad statement of what you do. But go up to the people, tap them on the shoulder, talk to them, just say, hi, my name is Tyjuan Hughey. I am founder and CEO of Innovite Solutions. I provide this. So we'll do a little role playing. I will do a good first impression of an elevator pitch to a CEO at a networking event. Major supply chain AI networking event. We are at a supply chain AI networking event, and I just chose supply chain because that's my major. So supply chain AI summit, and I just went to one. But I'm gonna do my elevator pitch and how I would communicate myself to these people because they have limited time. They want to talk to other people. They have things going on. They want to get the conversation going on. They don't want to just hear rambles and a whole long sentence. So you gotta come precise, but you gotta show your value and what you're offering, and so they can get an understanding. Hi, how are you? Hey, what do you do? I like to ask the question first. Be like, hey, how are you? I'm Tyjuan. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Nice. What brings you here? A lot of times people say, what do you do? But I like to say, what brings you here? And that often gives a little more detail of who they are and what they like to do and what they are actually doing at that conference. And a reply would be like, hey, I work in supply chain. And you can feed back off that and say, oh, that's great. My company actually does provide innovation services to supply chain companies around innovation, operational specific training, around AI to help companies stay competitive and lucrative with innovation. We know a lot of times companies like to sell AI solutions and systems first, but we like to sell the policy and the strategy around AI first because ultimately you need to know what you're doing and you need to develop your workforce around this technology. That was the pitch. Mine went a little long. Try to keep it to 20 to 30 seconds. I like to even go shorter because they sometimes are looking at me crazy. Why are you talking to me? But as soon as I say I'm founder and CEO, automatically their eyes just pop up. But it's automatic skepticism as the young age. And this next tip is have a form of communication, have a form of documentation, have a form of way of they can get in contact, have a business card, have that dot thing. Now you must know your target audience. If you know you're going into a event and the target audience is pretty old or pretty, just say 45 and up, you're dealing with a lot of senior level people, a lot of older executives, they're not going to want to pull out their phone and do that dot right then and there. It may be convenient, you may think it's fast, but it's ultimately not convenient. What's more convenient for them is to take a business card and you get their business card. And if you're selling the service, make sure you reach out to them. That's ultimately how this game of business works. If you're selling the service and they say they are interested and they give you their business card, you reach out to them, but you still would give this to them so they can know who you are. And so when it pops up, they're not just blindsided. They can look you up later on if they can vet you out. You did well. But what I like to do instead of the dot is I like to put the QR code on my business cards. And I put my email on my business card. It's front and back. But I like to put a QR code instead of the dot because I know a lot of times I'm dealing with older people and more senior level people who may not want to pull out their phone, may not be that quick with technology. So the dot is good if you're dealing with the younger audience, but I ultimately recommend this business card in longer term, and definitely put a QR code on there to make it easy. They potentially could know what a QR code is, but if they're too old, you got your email. But put all the relevant information on there. I'll put a picture of my websites on there. It's very simplified, so you can, if it's not focusing, I can put a picture up there. There we go. See my websites on there, my email, the QR code, my name, the company name. I think it's backwards, so I may just have to upload a picture. Here's the back also. But have a form of communication. Have your LinkedIn ready. Oh, where's my phone? One thing, I'm going to show you one thing also. If you don't have a business card, if you don't have time, if you are going to a networking event soon and you don't have the time or budget to invest in a business card, make sure you know how to use LinkedIn Scan. I'll put a screen record of it up and I'll probably do a voiceover over it of how you use your LinkedIn as a QR code to automatically connect instead of having to type in the people's name over and over again. And that will be a helpful tip for you all also. One more tip, make sure you dress professionally. That's one thing I can't forget. Make sure you dress the part. Yes, right now I'm in a t-shirt. I'm just vibing. I'm in my house recording a video. But when you go to these networking events, they're already skeptical because your age. You don't want to give them no more reason. Dress up, put on that suit, put on that dress, put on that tie, and look the part. It's very important to look the part. I don't care. People definitely look at that. But thank you for watching this video. I'm Tyjuan Hughey, founder and CEO of Innovite Solutions. If you would like to learn more what Innovite Solutions does, you can find some of my videos coming soon about what we do, and you can get a better understanding of what we do. And also you can check out my LinkedIn right here, and you can check out my website. This is the QR code. You can scan this right here and you can get all that information right here, and you can find more information about me, more information about what my company does, and how you can get involved in the innovation journey. If you're looking for a YouTube channel to subscribe to about business and innovation trends, I have released a white paper about innovation training and AI. If you're interested, it'll be in that QR code also, and you can go ahead and read that. If you're interested in topics about business and innovation, AI, and the ever-changing nature of technology, this is the channel for you. I'm Tyjuan Hughey, founder and CEO, and you have a good one.